As long as our economy and political systems prioritize profit without considering who is profiting, who is being shut out, we will perpetuate this inequality. We cannot stop at criminal justice system. We must begin the work of dismantling the whole system of oppression wherever we find it. Ilhan Omar, member of the United States House of Representatives, representing the Minnesota 5th Congressional District. Ladies and gentlemen, this woman, I will not say lady, she's not a lady. This woman is a Islamist Marxist. She is a member of the Progressive Committee or the Progressive Caucus in the United States House of Representatives. She is an enemy of the United States. As you can tell from that quote, she will not be content until she has completely dismantled the very fabric of the United States system. Wherever you find oppression. Now, let's talk a little bit about Ilhan Omar, if you will. Ilhan Omar is an immigrant to the United States. And I want to remind people, Ilhan fled a civil war, if you can call it as such, from Somalia. She fled from Somalia, immigrated to the United States, is now a naturalized citizen. She is literally achieving the American dream. The very nation that she is now seeking to dismantle, the very system that she is now seeking to destroy, she has privileged herself by. She has benefited from the very system that she is now seeking to destroy. Let that sink in. A foreign national, a radical Marxist, an Islamist radical Marxist, a woman who has advocated for Sharia law in the United States, is seeking to now use her position to dismantle the United States because of its oppressive nature. That should absolutely fundamentally shock every single person in the state of Minnesota to the core. And it's not just an issue of her and I being in disagreement. Ilhan Omar and I definitely do disagree. No one would argue that. I disagree with a lot of people. That's the nature of the United States. We have disagreements. The problem with Ilhan is she's a hypocrite. Not only is she a hypocrite, she's also a criminal. And she is corrupt. Now, a lot of people say, well, that's politicians, they're all corrupt. Okay, I wouldn't disagree with that to some degree. But here's the problem. Ilhan's not just merely corrupt in the way many politicians are. She's flagrantly corrupt. She makes no bones about it. And she has dared the people of Minnesota to come after her in her refusal to answer questions over and over and over again. She's been asked to explain the relationship with a man that she was previously married to, that many are convinced they have evidence that proves they're brother and sister. And that she married him strictly to get him citizenship on a fast track to being a citizen in the United States. She has abused her position by ending up in an adulterous relationship with a man who subsequently saw his marriage destroyed. She destroyed her marriage, and she's now married to this man who has a consulting firm that she has paid over $878,000 to in recent years, really. And let's just say in the last year, almost $1 million of donation money to her husband's consulting firm. Some people would say, well, gosh, that's her money to use for her campaigns and whatnot. But just think about the level of corruption it takes for her to be able to be in a position to do what she's doing. She's been questioned over and over and over again about the way she spends congressional funds that are allotted to her for things like travel and whatnot. She's abusing it. The very system that she's trying to destroy, she's benefiting from. She benefits from protection of a system that she wants to dismantle. She benefits from protection by law enforcement at the Capitol when she's there and at home. Not that she ever comes to her district for anything other than photo ops and to race bait. But once again, the people of Minnesota are being, at least to the 5th district, congressional district, are being represented by a corrupt Marxist agitator who has in her mind a desire to dismantle the United States system, and not just the criminal justice system, all of it. Especially if the people who are benefiting or profiting in that system don't have the right views, don't have the right perspective. And dare I say, if those people happen to be should we say, benefiting from their whiteness. That's what she's getting at. She's a racist. She's a racist. She's flat out a racist. And she's a classist. And she is seeking to destroy this country with her views. And the people of Minnesota, the people of the 5th District, blindly support her. She has basically no shot of getting removed from office in the next election. She's going to win because she says all the right things to inspire people to her cause, because she pretends to be for the people, but she's not. And I just, once again, I want to point out, here is a woman who's come to the United States. She's living the American dream in ways that the people she represents have never had a chance to do. She's living the dream. She is exactly what this country is about in the sense of success. How many of you watching this, if you happen to be in the 5th District, have ever had a chance to spend $878,000 in your husband or your wife's or your significant other's business? Think about that. $878,000 on the backs of taxpayers. She is part of the corrupt system she wants to dismantle. Now, I'd be all for dismantling the political system in one respect. I don't think they should get paid. Period. They should not get paid. They should be limited in the amount of time that they're allowed to serve in office. 1, maybe 2 terms. That's it. Get those bums out of there. And let's start with Ilhan. Let's remove her from office, either through term limits or through fair elections. And at the very least, she needs to be investigated. But it won't happen. Because if you investigate her, you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a liar, you're exercising your white privilege, you're displaying white fragility, all of that. These are things that this woman says. Anybody who questions her, anybody who calls her out, is labeled a hater, labeled a racist, labeled part of a racist system, labeled part of a white supremacist movement. Systematic injustice. Over and over and over again. That's how she paints anybody who dare question her. But is that really what's going on, Ilhan? Is that really what's happening, Ilhan? No. No, Ilhan, that's not what's happening. It's just people outside of your district aren't blind. And even people inside of your district aren't blind. Many people inside of your district see what you're doing, Ilhan. Many people inside of your district, Ilhan, know exactly who you are and what you're about, but they have no way of changing that. They have no hope because you've got so many people fooled. And the sad part of that is, you're a success story. And I applaud you for that. You are a success story. You are living the American dream in ways that the people you represent never will. And right now, you're a danger to this country. Your ideas, your ideology, your mannerisms, the way that you badmouth the very nation that gave you everything that you have, the nation that you have benefited from, the tax dollars, the freedom, the liberty that you would have never had in your home country, in your land of birth. You would have never had these chances in Somalia. You would have been relegated to obscurity. You would have never been allowed to hold office there, if there was an office for you to hold. But yet you come here, you fight your way out of the morass of the masses. You hold office at the state level and now at the federal level by standing on the backs of your constituents. The whole while bad-mouthing the system that has given you everything that you have. You're a hypocrite, and you're a liar, and you are a cheat, and you are a criminal, and you have no right to hold the office that you hold, and you have no right to say the things that you're saying about the system that's given you what you have. You have the freedom and you have the right in the constitutional sense, but you are a hypocrite and you're an enemy of this country. Not only should you be removed from office, you should be imprisoned for the criminality that you have displayed. It's time for you to go, Ilhan, and it's time for the people of the 5th District to rise up and put someone who loves this country, who really understands how much they've benefited from this nation, in place. Someone who is the counterpoint to you should be holding that office, because they'll actually give a damn about their constituents. They'll represent their constituents. All of them. Not just those who kowtow to you and genuflect to you. It's time for you to go, Ilhan. It's time for you to be removed from office, placed in handcuffs, and thrown in prison for being a criminal and being a traitor to the United States. It's time for you to go. As always, thanks for watching the video. Thanks for being open-minded. Thanks for listening. I would ask that over here in the corner, somewhere on your screen, you hit the subscribe button. It's important, not for me, but because mainstream media, legacy media, isn't going to get the word out. They're not going to let people who don't toe the established line speak. So for the sake of liberty and for the sake of the defense of this nation, small little independent voices like mine need to be heard, especially the interviews. It's got very little to do with my commentary and a lot more to do with the interviews and the people who are affected when liberties are tread on. So once again, hit the subscribe button, like, subscribe, and share. Thank you very much.